Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry for not posting like a month, but I've been trying to get stuff ready. So, I do have names for the oceans. Let me get that paper real quick. Remember these? Yeah, I have names for the ocean. So the giant ocean, right here. How it works? We have. It's kind of hard to explain, but we have 3 different oceans. We have the Sea of Ice. It's like down here. This is where the Sea of Ice is. All this bottom part. The Sebastian Sea is like here to here. The Three-Way Sea is up here in this area, and the Hammer is right here. So that's that. So that's that part. Now I'm finally gonna be talking about some history. Before we get to that though, I'm going to talk about, where's the paper? Here it is. Abilities of the Forcanians. The Forcanians have natural super strength. They get like really strong. They're able to hold up to 500 to 755 pounds. That's usually their average maximum between that range, which is very strong. Yes, and they can do strong punches because, with their strength, they can use a lot of force in the punches. Now, they also have like really durable. Their skin is really durable. Sorry about that. Like, they got really good resistance. Like, they can take a lot of hits and not bleed or anything. So, I got some other stuff, but history-wise. So, there's a good amount of continent, most of it. Now, this is the peaceful era. Now, Palm is most of it, the peaceful area. Everybody was not fighting, nobody was fighting it. It was just super peaceful. So first let's start with Palm again. I think I got another paper for this stuff. Hold up. Pretty sure I had another paper. Isn't it in here? Hold on. Alright, so I found it. First, the Planet Vader. So, Planet Vader is a non-tropical type economy. So, even though they are mostly tropical, they can add in amount, there's still a non-tropical type of economy and stuff. It's mostly forest. I mean, has normal, like the normal forest, and it also has the tropical forest. So people near the coast of the island, like tropical areas, would have sand, coconuts, water, and leaves on the trees, Now people in the middle of the area, they would have stuff like dirt, fruit, and rocks. I mean, they eat coconut. People of the continent, they eat coconuts and fruit. Through trade systems, they didn't have any weapons of any kind by the name because they were peaceful. They don't attack things. They used natural food like fruit. So they didn't do any farms. Not until the war era. Some games that kids would play would be stuff like Fine Race, where people would race on fines. kingdom, a game where the people just act like they're kings and stuff. Basic role playing. And Coconut Ball, which is like a sport where you use a coconut. And they didn't have any type of currency during this era because they would just trade goods. Like people in the middle, they would trade stuff like fruit for like coconuts or leaves, for instance. Didn't really have any politics, so it was just do whatever you want. So next, the planet continent of Iso. It was a snowy economy. I mean, you guys seen the map. The place is really snowy, so it's mostly snow. It has snow areas and tropical area. It has a little bit of tropical. So, I mean, so yeah, they had like resources such as ice and wood. You know, in the tropical area, I don't have some coconuts and water. You know, they would eat coconuts. Like that's the only food, of course, they had. So, obviously, no weapons again. Not into the war era. Games they would play, they actually played hockey. Now, obviously, it's not called hockey, but pretty much exactly like hockey, but not called hockey on this planet. Obviously, still no trade. They just traded items. They didn't have a currency, and still no politics. Now, continent of Palm. This is a tropical type economy. All right, they have pretty much all the same resources. So, as Vader, they would eat fruit and coconuts. Obviously, no weapons. They would play coconut ball. That's the games they had. They would trade goods and still no politics. Beak is another tropical type economy. They eat the same thing, fruit and coconuts. They have no weapons, and they would play coconut ball, and they would also play vine race. So, and they traded for currency, and there was no politics. Now, Planet Extra is a variety economy. So they have like different types of economies. Do you want like tropical, non-tropical, and ice and snow tropical economies all into one. So a variety economy. They would eat coconuts and fruit. They didn't have any weapons. They would have games such as coconut ball, fine race, and then they also had hockey. Yeah. They would trade goods and there was no politics. So, I think that's all I have for today. So, yeah. Thank you guys for subscribing. Please like the video, leave a comment, helps out the channel, and see you in the next one.